In this video, we're going to look at solving a few equations for the given variable. So in the first one, we have just a linear equation that we need to solve for t, which means we want to isolate the t. Well, first we need to isolate this piece with the t in it. In other words, we want to get it on a side by itself. To do this, we can subtract 22 off of both sides, and that'll cancel these out, and we get left with 1.3t equals 9.1. Now to completely solve for t, we can divide both sides by 1.3, and we are going to get t equals 7. And that's our solution. We can check it by plugging it back in, which is a good habit. In the second one, notice we have an x term on both sides. So we need to get the x terms isolated, get them on one side, and anything without an x on the other. So I'm going to put the x terms on the right, so I'm going to subtract 17x off of both sides. Cancels those out. Leaves me with 4x on this side. Moving over to the other side, I'm going to subtract 10, because I want to bring the 10 over here. Subtract 10, and that gives me 4x equals negative 24. Again, last step is to divide, and we get x equals negative 6. Once again, we can check by plugging that back in. The last one we're solving for x, but we're going to have a little bit of work to do first because of these parentheses. So let's work from the inside out and do a couple steps of simplification. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this inside set of parentheses by distributing the 2. So 3 minus, and I'm going to leave the bracket for right now. We'll get rid of that in the next step. 5.4 plus 2 times 4.3 is 8.6 minus 2 times x is 2x. This is equal to, now we have to distribute the negative over here in order to get rid of those parentheses. 2 minus 0.3x plus 0.8. Now let's do another step of simplification, which is combining like terms. So 3 minus, so I'm not doing these brackets yet, but I have 5.4 plus 8.6, which will give us 14 minus 2x. We'll get rid of those brackets in the next step. Equals. Over here, what can we combine? Well, we only have one x term, so that can't be combined with anything. But we have a 2 and a plus a 0.8. So, putting those together, we get 2.8 minus 0.3x. So we're getting there. Once again, we got to distribute a negative sign to get rid of the parentheses. So over here on the left hand side, I have 3 minus 14 plus 2x equals 2.8 minus 0.3x. Let's combine like terms, as many as we can, and then we'll finish this one off. So 3 minus 14 gives us a negative 11 plus 2x equals 2.8 minus 0.3x. Last step, we're basically like we were in the problem before. We're going to get all the x terms on one side, all the terms without x on the other. So I'm going to take this term and bring it over here. So I'm going to add 0.3x to both sides. Those will cancel, and I'm going to write up here. So I have 2.3x on the left hand side. I'm also going to add 11 to both sides, which gives me 13.8 on the right hand side. Last step is to divide both sides by the 2.3. So what we're going to get, it comes out to be a nice answer, is that x equals positive 6. And those are solving for x.